What is going on, YouTube? What is going on, Kansas City? And what is going on, everybody? And welcome to the Beat of KC. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lucas Murphy, and today we're going to be talking about Raiders Week. Ladies and gentlemen, the Las Vegas Raiders will be coming to Arrowhead and square off against the Kansas City Chiefs. As a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and even as a Las Vegas Raiders fan, you know how much this game means to both fan bases. We absolutely despise each other. We can't stand each other. And the reason is just because the historical really impact that this game has. We just don't like the black and silver, and they definitely don't like the Kansas City Chiefs. So we're going to dive in. We're really going to kind of see how this game projects to really kind of play out. And we're going to kind of dive in and really talk about both offenses and both defenses. And we're going to wrap it up with really kind of talking about some spreads, some over-unders, and some money lines. So I'm excited to talk about all of this. So we're going to jump right in. The Raiders currently sit at 2-4, and the Kansas City Chiefs have had a resurgence, ladies and gentlemen. They are currently at 3-3. Now, the season averages, and I think that this is really going to kind of play out and show you really how this game could potentially develop. Now, the total offense, the Raiders currently average 306.7 yards per game. That places them 23rd in the NFL. Now, on the other side, the Kansas City Chiefs currently average 360 flat, and that is per game, and that puts them at 8th. So you're really seeing the Kansas City Chiefs kind of have an uptick in average yards per game. That really kind of just contributes to the fact that we've got Xavier Worthy back. Travis Kelce has been kind of stepping his game up for his age. We're really seeing Juju Smith-Schuster perform, Tyquan Thornton. The list goes on and on. And did I forget to mention, Rashee Rice is back, ladies and gentlemen. EGE, everybody's gonna eat. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm excited to have Rashee Rice back, and that only is going to contribute to that yards per game. Now, I really want to highlight Ashton Jeanty. Obviously, he was the Las Vegas Raiders' first-round pick, the running back out of Boise State. He has been an absolute workhorse for this Las Vegas Raiders team. He currently has 105 attempts for 424 yards. He's averaging 4.9 yards per attempt and is averaging 70.7 yards per game. He does have 3 touchdowns on the ground, and I think how he's going to impact this game, we'll talk a little bit later when we get into the defensive category. But Ashton Jeanty, I really anticipate him to potentially have a good game. Now, not only is he a running back, ladies and gentlemen, but he has the ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. That's something that they've consistently worked on with him. And I'm kind of interested and intrigued to see if Geno Smith is going to rely on him in a lot of ways. Some wide receivers to really pay attention to for Geno Smith is Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers. I mean, those are 2 very talented wide receivers, and they have stepped up pretty significantly for Geno Smith when he's not turning over the football, which we'll talk about as well. Now, everybody anticipates and looks forward to tight end Brock Bowers, obviously the premier tight end from Georgia. Unfortunately, I think Brock Bowers is actually going to be out of this game. He's been dealing with a lingering issue and an injury, and so I would anticipate him to be out, but they do have another tight end in Michael Mayer, the Notre Dame product, and I think he'll be stepping up in his place. Now, you're really not necessarily getting the same product as Brock Bowers, but Michael Mayer is not anything to shrug off, and I think he'll be something to pay attention to as well. Now, really this passing offense for the Raiders, they are averaging 201.5 yards per game. That places them 18th in the NFL, and that's versus a Kansas City Chiefs offense that really the passing offense is averaging 241.3 yards per game. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that puts them 8th in the NFL. So you can really kind of see a big difference. The rushing offense for the Raiders, again, they're averaging 105.2 yards per game. That places them 23rd in all of the NFL. Now, we did just go through Ashton Jeanty, so he obviously is not contributing all of those rushing yards per game, but he's getting a bulk of those, and it really is kind of an impact. Now, one that really kind of shocked me was the Chiefs currently have 118.7 yards per game. That's 14th in the NFL, and that's on the rushing offense. Now, a lot of that is going to be Patrick Mahomes, who leads this team in rushing yards. But you have to kind of consider who else is contributing to that. So you got Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and really kind of, it goes from there. I mean, Brashard Smith is adding to that as well. Now, points per game, the Raiders are only averaging 17.2 points per game. That is tied for 29th in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. This team is just not scoring points. Where on the other side, the Kansas City Chiefs are finding a way to average 25.8 points per game. That places them 9th in the NFL. So right there out of the gate, you can kind of see the Kansas City Chiefs are good at scoring points, and they really have relied a lot on Patrick Mahomes this year. And we talked about that in multiple videos, whether it's with guests or, me just talking to you and providing you statistics. I truly, truly believe that Patrick Mahomes is the front runner for the MVP right now. And I think the statistics from a team perspective are kind of providing you that perspective. Now we're going to flip over to the other side of the football. Now, total defense, and this is yards allowed, the Raiders are currently allowing 311 yards per game. And then that's obviously versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who are averaging 311.2. So they are right, almost dead smack even when it comes to yards allowed on that defensive side of the football. Now, pass defense, and I think this really kind of speaks to the Kansas City Chiefs. This is really where they have the upper hand. And I truly, truly believe that this is where it's going to impact the game the most. Now, the pass defense, the Raiders allow 215.7 yards per game, and that places them 19th in the NFL, versus the Chiefs, who allow 192 yards per game. That's 8th in the NFL. So the Kansas City Chiefs are finding a way to really stagnate opposing quarterbacks when it comes to passing. I truly contribute a lot of that to the secondary. I think that the defensive front for the Kansas City Chiefs has been struggling to really get to the quarterback, and I've talked about it in videos as well. We're just not sacking the quarterback. They're finding ways to throw different blitz packages from Spags' defense, so that could be an array of different options coming off the ends, maybe a corner's blitzing, maybe a safety. Even the linebackers have been contributing in that category. But the defensive ends and the D tackles just truly are not finding ways to really get to the quarterback. In a market that never sleeps, one name rises above the rest. Lisa Miller from Miller-Lynch Real Estate. Trusted by hundreds and recognized across the Midwest, she delivers results when it matters the most. With over 13 years of experience and licenses in both Kansas and Missouri, Lisa isn't just selling houses. She's helping you find a place to call home. Whether you are a first-time homebuyer, looking to upsize, or selling your current home, Lisa makes the process smooth and stress-free. As a local expert passionate about building lasting relationships, she ensures her clients feel confident and satisfied every step of the way. Don't wait, your perfect home is just a call away. Contact Lisa today at 913-579-3246 or 913-369-30, or visit lisamillersellskc.com. Let Lisa Miller at Lynch Real Estate help you start your next exciting chapter. And let her know the beat of KC, Lucas Murphy, sent you her way. And so I think the big significant piece to this entire thing is how the Kansas City Chiefs secondary will really kind of contain and match up to a Geno Smith and to the offensive weapons we talked about in Ashton Jeanty, Trey Tucker, and Jacoby Myers, as well as Michael Mayer. So I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing how this secondary can lock down this Raiders offense. Now, the rush defense, and I think this is a significant one too, because we did talk about Ashton Jeanty. Now, the Raiders are averaging 95.3 yards per game. That does place them 10th. Now, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs rush attack, again, our rush attack really is led by Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback. We're not solely relying, and we should be in a lot of ways, relying on guys like Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, and Brashard Smith. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are allowing 119.2 yards per game. That's 19th in the NFL on the ground. So you can see there's a chance Ashton Jeanty is going to have some success just based on the stats. Now, points allowed per game, and I think this is a big one too. The Raiders currently are allowing 24.8 points per game. That's 23rd in the NFL versus the Kansas City Chiefs, who are averaging 20.7 points per game. That's 11th in the NFL. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, they often have that bend but don't break mentality. They are giving up, decent amounts of yards, as we saw, but then at the same time, they're really kind of locking down when it means it the most, whether that's in the red zone or late in games, things like that. They're really containing good offenses so far this year, some teams that are really pushing for playoffs. And so I really think that just shows you how the Kansas City Chiefs have kind of stagnated again, offenses that they face. 20.7 points per game in the NFL is a pretty solid number, even though it is 11th. I still think the Kansas City Chiefs have the upper hand in that category. Now, some players I really want to identify from the Raiders side of the football, because I really think that they do have some decent guys on that side of the football. And again, we're only going to highlight a few, but the Raiders defense is led by Devin White, a solid linebacker out of LSU. Big time fan, have always been a huge fan of Devin White. Originally making his career debut with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just had a solid career there. Now he comes over to the Las Vegas Raiders, and he has been super impactful as he leads this team in tackles, like I stated. He does lead the team with 48 total tackles. And then, of course, ladies and gentlemen, the madman, Max Crosby. Max Crosby and obviously Patrick Mahomes, they do have a friendship off the field, They do really kind of talk, but they're huge competitors when it comes to playing on the field. And this is what Patrick Mahomes had to say about Max Crosby.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ton of respect. I mean, like you said, I mean, when I talk to him outside of football, it's like we're friends. You wouldn't even see what happens on the football field, but I mean, he's the type of competitor like me. It's like when you're on that football field, it's whatever it takes to win. Man, you're going to leave everything on the football field, and I have a ton of respect for that. I mean, those are the guys that you want on your team because they play with that mentality, and he's trying to do that and build that culture there. And so I know when we step across that line and you get on that football field, it's going to take your best effort to find a way to go up against that guy.
Now, Max Crosby currently has 25 total tackles, and from a defensive end, that's a decent amount. It truly is. But then you got to contribute to the fact that he's got 4 sacks on the year. And Max Crosby is always going to take it up a notch when he's playing this Kansas City Chiefs team. I think truly deep down, he just despises, he truly buys into this rivalry. And I think coming to Arrowhead just makes him amped up that much more. The crowd, the offense that he's going up against, the ability to have to beat this Kansas City Chiefs team, I think just means a lot more to him game in and game out, just because I think he just, again, despises the Kansas City Chiefs. Rightfully so. We've talked about this rivalry and what it means. Now, really kind of going into the quarterback statistics, and I think this is really where you start to differentiate these two teams. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs obviously have Patrick Mahomes, the front runner, in my opinion, again, for the MVP. He currently is 138 for 213, and he has 1,514 passing yards. He has 11 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. Obviously, we're not even going to talk necessarily about everything that's on the ground, but he has contributed a lot when it comes to the running game. Now, Geno Smith, on the other hand, ladies and gentlemen, is 123 of 186. He has 1,350 passing yards, 7 touchdowns to a massive, and I think league-leading 10 interceptions. Again, that just really kind of goes into my statement earlier about this Kansas City Chiefs secondary potentially taking over this game and really forcing Geno Smith. I feel like they are going to have to throw the football. If the Kansas City Chiefs defense can find a way to really contain Ashton Jeanty and force Geno Smith to throw the football and make mistakes, as we've seen in the statistics here, the Kansas City Chiefs should walk away with this win, and it should be an easy win. Now, I don't want to sit there and say that this is going to be an easy win, because that's just not how I am. This is an AFC West rivalry, ladies and gentlemen. This thing is ingrained from, dads down to sons, down to grandkids. Like, the rivalry just runs so deep, and this is such an impactful rivalry that I don't expect it to just be in a massive blowout like the odds and everybody are predicting. I think that there's a chance that this could be a 7-point to 10-point difference, and it's based on really just because it is a rivalry. Both teams are going to be trying to play the best that they possibly can, and I truly believe that Andy is going to have his Kansas City Chiefs teams really kind of fired up and ready to play. And I just think that, it's going to come down to really who's going to make less mistakes. That's just my opinion. Again, whoever does not turn the football over will win this football game. And I think who's going to have the most offensive firepower. And I think, again, that comes down to the Kansas City Chiefs. You can really kind of see and go down each position and really kind of the categories and say, okay, the Kansas City Chiefs, they have Patrick Mahomes at quarterback. Check. they got that one. Now, the running game probably goes over to the Raiders. The wide receivers definitely, and tight end group definitely goes to the Kansas City Chiefs. And I truly believe the defense goes to the Kansas City Chiefs as well. But obviously, the Raiders have the ability to get back to the quarterback and could force Mahomes to make some potential mistakes. We'll just have to see how this game plays out. Now, to wrap this video up, we're going to talk about betting odds and really kind of provide you some perspective. So currently, as of this video, and it's being made, the spread is the Kansas City Chiefs way, and that is a minus 11.5. That's a significant number in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen. You see some of those numbers often when they are big-time opponents and going against kind of some weaker opponents, but that number just seems kind of big to me. The over-under currently is 45.5, and I could see that definitely being hit for sure on an over. Now, the money line, as of right now, the Raiders are plus 520 to the Chiefs minus 720. So those are some significant numbers and really kind of show you where everybody lies currently with this game and where it's being bet at. Obviously bet responsibly, make good decisions when it comes to that, but you can see where those numbers are at just based on this video. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this football game. Who's going to come out on top? What's the score going to be? Let me know down in the comment section. Make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, and I end every video the exact same way. Have a good day.